Okay, this is page 4, possibly page 5. Let's see here. Yeah, this is page 5 of the 6.2 notes for Algebra 2. And this is some examples that directly tie to the homework. So we're going to start with this first example here. I'm looking at the top one there. And we're going to try and do standard form. So we'll keep the x on the back burner here, and we'll multiply 4x times x, and the outside pair is negative 12x. We're going to combine that here with positive 5x. So negative 12x and 5x add up to that. And then last times last here is negative 15. And then we'll finish by distributing the x all the way down. Oops. It's going to be 4x cubed minus 7x squared minus 15x. Okay, on the next example, we have the quantity 2x plus 1 squared, and we want to write that out twice in order to FOIL that out. So 2x plus 1 times itself. That's the meaning of the little exponent in this case. And so that's going to be x in front, and we're going to multiply the first pair, gives 4x squared. Outside is 2x combined with another 2x on the inside. And finally, 1 times 1 on the last times the last. And you distribute the x all the way down. And there's your answer for that one. Okay, in the next session, next section, we got 3 binomials. I'm going to keep the first one for later. So I'm going to say x minus 3 there. And I'll FOIL out the back too. 2x squared. 8x on the outside minus 1x. That's 7x. And then finally, minus 4 at the back. And now you take and distribute the x all the way down. You'll distribute the negative 3 later. So that's going to be 2x squared or x cubed on the first round, plus 7x squared when you multiply the second one. And then this one down here is going to be minus 4x. Now we multiply the negative 3 all the way down, which gives negative 6x squared. I'll line it up right there. And then minus 21x. And finally, negative 3 times negative 4. And we'll clean this up here. 2x cubed plus 1x squared. We'll add those like terms. Minus 25x plus 12. And that's the polynomial standard form version of the original there. Okay. So, excuse that bell, but we're going to keep going here. We're going to pull out the common factor on this next one, and it would be, looks like 2x. So when you take that out, you get 3x squared plus 2x minus 8. And you could distribute, and you would be right back where you started. And then I'm going to go ahead and set up the answer here. And my star. And we'll use the star method here. The leading coefficient 3 goes on the wings. You multiply the a and the c. Put that up there. And the middle term, the middle coefficient goes here. And you need 2 numbers that multiply to give negative 24 and add to give positive 2. So here we go. 6 and 4 is a good start. I have to make that one negative. Okay, let's see. Those numbers multiply to give negative 24 and add to give 2. So I got the right numbers. This simplifies to 1 over 2, so now I know it's 1x plus 2. And the other numbers don't simplify, negative 3/4. You go 3x minus 4 there, and that one's done. Okay, on the next one here, your common factor is 6. Pull that out, and you get a difference of squares here. And that's easy to factor. You just use a plus and a minus sign in the square roots. So the square root of 4x squared is 2x. And the square root of 25 is just 5. And that problem is done. Okay, on the next one, we have a common factor of x. And we have perfect squares on the ends, which usually is an indication of a perfect square trinomial. So we're going to try it that way. The middle sign is a negative, so we're going to use that twice. Square root of the front, square root of the back. And you could write it with an exponent since we have matching factors. 4x minus 3 squared. Okay, so on the next problem, what we have here is a function, and we want to find any maximum values, minimum values, or zeros. Not all of these blanks are going to come in handy. So the first thing to do would be to take the equation and on the y equals line, simply type it in, and I've got it typed in here. And we're going to find, first of all, we're going to find the zeros. Actually, let's graph it first. So type it in, and once you got it all typed in, and let me scroll across there so you can see the whole thing. Okay, that was the whole thing. Hit zoom, choice number 6, and you'll see the graph has some stuff hidden higher up on the y-axis and lower down on the y-axis. So I'm going to go to the window key, and I'm going to extend this higher up by putting the maximum at 30, and lower down by putting it at negative 30. And now I'll touch graph. And there you go. Okay, there's one hilltop, that's called a maximum. One valley, that's called a minimum. And those are y values. So we're going to find the maximum first. You get the second key and the trace key where it says calc. And we want a maximum, so that's number 4. Hit enter. And go to the left side of the hilltop. I'll show you a good spot. There'd be a good side to be on the left side of the hill. You'll hit enter. And then you want to, well, I did it wrong here. Second calc, choice 4. Hit enter for the left bound. And then it should ask you for a right bound, and you'll scroll over to the other side of that hilltop. Hit enter again. And when it says guess, you hit enter once more. And you have your answer. It's the y value of 12.04. So now I'm going to go back to maximum was a y value at 12.04. And these are y values when you're asking for max heights and min heights, because the y measures heights. Okay, the minimum is there also, so let me call that up again. And it's the valley over there on the right. So I'm going to go second. And after that, calc. And I want the third choice this time. And I'm going to scroll to the right until I'm on the left side of that valley. That'd be a good enough spot. It's the left side of the valley. When I hit enter, it wants me to go to the right side. So I slide over to the right of it. And once I'm definitely on the right side of the valley, I hit enter twice. And negative 21.13 is the minimum y value. Again, it's a y value here that matters. So negative 21 point, I forget what it was. Let me go back there. Negative 21.13, okay. Okay, the zeros are x-intercepts, and we have on this picture 3 places where it crosses the x-axis. One is a little to the left of negative 2. You can see that one, and that's the first one we're going to find. So you go second, calc, choice 2 this time. The zeros and x-intercepts, those are synonymous. So I need to slide my cursor over until I get basically on top of the answer. And then go a little past it going to the left. Hit enter. Now it wants me to go to the other side of it, so I go to it and past it a little bit, and once I'm to the right of it, I hit enter twice, and this time I'm looking for the x values. So negative 2.07. You got a round here. Negative 2.07. And I'll find the other two quickly. Okay, second calc choice 2. Let me go over just a little bit to the left of the next answer. Okay, that's a little bit to the left of the intersection there. Hit enter. And it wants me to go to the right side of it. So I'll go past it, hit enter twice. And it jumps to 2.40 on the x-axis. So you fill in 2.40. Was it 40 or 04? I'm sorry, I got to go back there and look. All right, so hang on here. 2.40. I was right the first time. I should have done it. 40. Okay, now we'll go back and find the last one here. And you got to go second calc choice 2 again. And keep going until you get near it. And we're definitely getting closer, but we're still on the left side of it. Hit enter. And then go to the other side of it and hit enter twice. And it should jump to it, and this time it's 8.60 with rounding. Okay, so that does it for page 5 of the notes.